Honestly, it's one of the most misunderstood skin conditions out there. You could have used the best cleanser in the world, went to the best dermatologist on the planet, and exfoliate and go through all the steps, and nothing. The problem isn't on the surface of your skin. The problem is happening inside your body. And I can't wait to get into this.
Tall, short, skinny, fat, Gigi, Giselle, Miranda, Chanel, you gotta get back. You gotta get back on that model's diet. That model's diet. That model's diet.
Hello, Moddies. It's your host, Nina Daniels, and welcome back to Models Diet Podcast, your source for the latest and most intriguing trends in self-care. And today, we are talking about something that I've never heard of, although PCOS is becoming quite popular and people being more educated and understanding about it. Today's episode is about PCOS acne, and I can't wait to get into this. Before we go any further, if you are loving Models Diet Podcast, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button, like, and comment. We would love to hear from you, and it really helps us keep the show going. So acne. You know how we think of acne, but apparently PCOS acne is a specific type of hormonal acne linked to polycystic ovary syndrome. Many women have been linked and have been diagnosed with PCOS. One thing I have never heard of or didn't know much about was PCOS acne. But if any of you have ever heard of this or suffered from this, please hit us up in the comments. Let us know. I want to hear from you and know what is your experience like. Honestly, it's one of the most misunderstood skin conditions out there. Unlike typical breakouts that respond to typical acne treatments like, I don't even know, I haven't had acne in so long, but I think I used to use Neutrogena back in the day. I even used that one that came in a kit that you would get, you had to buy, it was numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, it went on and on forever. I know, when I was well through my 20s, teens, definitely suffering from acne. I wouldn't say it wasn't, it wasn't horrible. I didn't have a ton of acne, but I can say that I did suffer from some acne issues, and it would always be around my period. And now as I'm older and you understand hormones more, you realize why I was breaking out during that time period. PCOS acne requires a completely different type of treatment plan, and this is because it's driven by internal hormonal imbalances rather than external factors. But isn't regular acne also about hormonal imbalances? I thought it was. I was always told that. I mean, it always came around when it was my cycle and my period was coming. But today, we are breaking down what dermatologists and dietitians actually recommend to treat it effectively. So what makes PCOS acne different from our standard everyday prepubescent teenage, acne? And let me tell you, PCOS acne is definitely very different than your traditional standard breakouts. With PCOS, your body is producing too much testosterone and other androgens. And so these hormones are basically telling your oil glands to work overtime. And your skin is drowning in sebum that is clogging your pores. And the acne shows up along your jawline, your chin, those lower parts, around here on your face. It's deep. It's painful, and it takes forever to go away. And right when one goes away, another one pops up someplace else, and then 3 more pop up somewhere else. So it's a never-ending battle. You're just like a hamster, always on that wheel. And probably a lot of you who have suffered needlessly, if someone told you, years ago that this type of acne doesn't respond to normal acne treatments, it would have saved you a lot of grief. You could have used the best cleanser in the world, went to the best dermatologist on the planet, and exfoliate and go through all the steps, and nothing. You could do whatever all the beauty magazines tell you is what's going to make you beautiful and you make your skin clear. None of it would have helped you. And you still would break out constantly because the problem isn't on the surface of your skin. The problem is happening inside your body. And your hormones are completely out of balance, and your face is honestly just showing you what's going on internally. That's why treatment requires much more than skincare products. You have to address the hormonal imbalances. And you know what? This does not just go for PCOS, especially as we get older. I think that hormonal balances, at least for women, are a key part to a lot of our, whether it be weight gain, PCOS acne in general. I think women suffer a lot from different, autoimmune. I think a lot of this comes from hormone imbalances. I mean, I'm sure you guys probably spend so much time thinking you're doing something wrong. I'm going through the steps. I'm going through the steps. I'm washing my face. I'm exfoliating. I'm doing serums, and I'm using toner, moisturizer, and nothing is working. And the whole time, it wasn't you. It wasn't from a lack of effort. It wasn't because you were not trying. It's because you didn't know. You didn't understand what was needed to help improve your problem. It was about hormones that needed medical intervention. So let me explain to you what happens inside of your body when you have PCOS. Your androgen levels are elevated, which means you have more testosterone than your body knows what to do with. And these high androgen levels trigger your sebaceous glands to produce excess oil, way more than your pores can handle. So it's like somebody pouring oil through your face faster than it can be excreted. And the excess oil mixes with dead cells and bacteria, which creates the perfect environment for acne to grow. Most women with PCOS also suffer from insulin resistance. And you know how I know this is true? This is why a lot of women fast. This is a big reason why intermittent fasting, keto diet, this is why this is a big, especially amongst women who are getting older or have any kind of, I realize when I fast, I am able to finally lose weight. If I don't fast, I can work out, I can eat right, but it just feels like it's just stuck. Like my body just won't move. And that really is insulin resistance. Your body struggles to process sugar properly. So your insulin levels stay really high. And high insulin triggers your ovaries to produce even more androgens, aka testosterone. So now you've got this feedback loop where insulin makes more androgens, which makes more oil, which makes more acne, and the shit is just all out of control. Dr. Sam Ellis, who's a board-certified dermatologist, explains it this way. Treating PCOS acne without addressing the hormonal component is like trying to empty a bathtub while the faucet is still running. You might make some progress, but you're never going to actually solve the problem. That's why dermatologists work with endocrinologists and gynecologists when treating PCOS patients. The best results come from a team approach that addresses both skin and hormones. So let's talk about the derm-approved skincare routine. Even though PCOS is fundamentally hormonal issues, that doesn't mean that your skincare routine doesn't matter or you should just throw that out the window. No. Your skincare does matter, and it can make a difference if you're using the right stuff. Now I want to be clear, I'm not a dermatologist, I'm not a doctor, so I am just here sharing information that I found and helping you to cut to the chase and get the information that you need. Everything I'm sharing here is general information based on what dermatologists recommend. You absolutely need to consult with a dermatologist, a doctor, or anyone when you start a new skincare routine when you are dealing with PCOS. That being said, here's what dermatologists recommend when you are suffering from PCOS acne. Start with a gentle cleanser that removes makeup without stripping your skin completely. If you want acne-fighting ingredients, look for salicylic acid or benzoyl peroxide in low concentrations. Your skin should feel clean, but not tight or dry after washing. I know everybody has dealt with this. I used to try to use soap to wash my face, but my face would be so tight and dry afterwards. I realized pretty early on that I could not use soap to wash my face. Even though I saw mad people using Dove to wash their face and all other types of soap, it didn't work for me. Retinoids are probably the most effective treatment for PCOS acne. They increase cell turnover, prevent clogged pores, and reduce inflammation. Prescription tretinoin is the strongest option, but over-the-counter retinol can help if you're just starting out. Just know that retinoids take time to work. We always say this on Models Diet Podcast. Consistency. We can't say it anymore. It's just what it's going to take. And your skin might purge a bit before it gets better. Prime example, every time I start a new workout regimen or a new way of eating, I always gain weight before I lose weight. I know it sounds crazy because you're like, no, look, I'm watching my macros or whatever you're into. I'm not eating carbs, or I'm only eating vegan and vegetables or whatever. And then you find out I just gained 10 pounds. Something in my body says, oh shit, she's changing what she's doing. Let's hold on to everything. Let's hold on for dear life because we're not going to survive. We're going to be suffering. We're going to be starving. We're going into starvation mode. And then after a while, it just lets go. So please be patient. Hang in there. Be consistent. Also, you can add niacinamide to your routine if you haven't already. It regulates oil production, reduces inflammation, and doesn't irritate sensitive skin. Dermatologists recommend it specifically for hormonal acne. And you need to moisturize only if your skin is oily. I know that sounds that's what I said. You need to moisturize only if your skin is oily. And I know you probably think, but don't you need to moisturize if your skin is dry? When your skin gets dehydrated, it actually compensates by producing more oil. Did you know that? Hit me up in the comments. Did you know when your skin is dehydrated, it produces more oil? I did not know that. But I always had pretty oily skin or combination skin, so I always had to use a moisturizer. But I did not understand that's why I was using it. Use an oil-free, non-comedogenic moisturizer every day. Now let's talk about medical treatments that target the hormones. For most women with PCOS, topical treatments are just not going to be enough. You're going to need prescription medications that address the hormonal imbalance as well. Birth control pills are also a solution. They contain both estrogen and progestin and lower androgen levels and regulate your menstrual cycle. Most women start seeing clearer skin within 3 to 6 months of starting birth control. Now, you know what's so crazy? When I was younger, they put me on birth control pills for acne, but I don't believe that I had PCOS acne. So I'm really interested to know the acne that I had. I'm not sure if it responded to the birth control pills because they made me so sick I stopped taking them. And I just went back to doing some topical stuff. So maybe, you know what? I probably didn't have PCOS because the topical stuff did work. So that probably tells you that I did not have that, and that's how I was able to go, do either one. Spironolactone is an anti-androgen medication that blocks testosterone's effect on your skin. It's one of the most effective treatments for hormonal acne in women. Dermatologists consider it essential for treating PCOS acne. So if insulin resistance is part of your PCOS, your doctor might prescribe Metformin. It improves how your body produces insulin, can lower androgen levels, and help clear your skin. But like anything else, these medications take time. You have to be patient and be consistent. You're not going to receive results in 2 weeks. We're just going to be real and be honest with you. It typically takes 3 to 6 months of consistent use before you notice significant change. But when they work, they really, really work. So here's a diet and lifestyle component. I feel like almost everything that we suffer from in life, diet and lifestyle play a huge part in that. The single biggest dietary change that women with PCOS acne can make is cutting back on high glycemic foods. Basically, anything that spikes your blood sugar level. And when I say anything that spikes it, I mean anything that spikes your blood sugar level quickly. I'm talking about white bread, sugary snacks, regular pasta, white rice, processed carbs that send your blood sugar level way up, and then your insulin goes way up. Then your ovaries start making more and more androgens, and your skin breaks out. It's this chain reaction where each step makes the next one worse. And I have to say, there's this guy on YouTube, and I'm going to try and put this, put his video and name right here, or here, or here. I'm going to show it. But this guy, all he does, every single YouTube short is he eats something and then he checks his glucose monitor to see if it spiked his insulin level. And I'm going to tell you that a lot of us do what we call stacking, which means you could be eating well, really well, every day. Then one day in the morning, let's say you can't deal with it anymore. You just want something that you just want to eat, like a bagel or a muffin, and you eat the bagel and the muffin in the morning. Then you just go down, you go down this downward spiral. You eat the muffin from breakfast. Then you go and eat a sandwich for lunch. Then you go and eat pasta for dinner. Now, you normally would not have done all 3 of these in a row on any other day. But when you start stacking all of these carbohydrates, sugar, processed white bread, it all takes its toll. I have to tell you, when I started tracking what I was eating, I could not believe, and I thought I was eating really well. I could not believe how, like, literally maybe one snack or one side or meal would just wreck a whole day's worth of work. You would be really surprised. Instead, you want to focus on low glycemic food that will keep your blood sugar level stable throughout the day. Whole grains, vegetables, beans, proteins, healthy fats don't cause that dramatic spike. Can you believe you can eat a wad of butter? Literally, you can eat a wad of butter and that will not cause an hormonal spike or your blood sugar to spike. I promise you, I've tried it. Your hormones stay more balanced throughout the day, and so your skin is way happier and less likely to throw a fit with new breakouts. Anti-inflammatory food needs to be a major part of your diet if you are suffering from PCOS acne, because inflammation is basically gasoline that you're pouring on a PCOS fire. You're just helping it grow, just blazing. Load up on leafy greens, fatty fish packed with omega-3s, berries full of antioxidants, nuts, and seeds. These foods actively calm down the inflammation happening throughout your entire body. When you reduce systemic inflammation, so your skin responds positively, because inflammation is one of the major drivers of acne severity. So some women also need to reducing or eliminating dairy completely. I can tell you, for me, I don't have PCOS or PCOS acne, but I can tell you that from a teenager, I could not have dairy from the supermarket. Dairy from the supermarket, I just could not, I couldn't handle it. I could only do dairy from the farm, dairy like raw butter, raw cream, raw sour cream. Any of that I always got from, when I lived in LA, I would get it from the farmer's market because all the farmers came there and it was super easy. And depending on where you live, you can get some of these products. But for me, the raw dairy is the only way to go, or I don't have dairy at all. I just cut it completely out. And I know it's not what anybody wants to hear. People love their ice cream and their milk and their, I don't know, sour cream, yogurts. I know we love those things, but they may be just causing inflammation in your body. And research suggests that dairy, especially skim milk, can worsen acne in some people because of the hormones naturally present in milk. Try cutting it out for a month and see if your skin improves. Just try it. Just cut it out and see what happens. If it doesn't improve, then you know it's not the milk. If it does improve, you may have to reduce it or eliminate it completely. And if dairy is triggering your breakouts, you just found an easy thing to eliminate from your diet. And it may not be easy. They say it's an easy thing to eliminate from your diet, but it may not be the easiest thing for you if you love it. But it could make a significant difference. Stress management is not optional. And I say this as someone who used to dismiss it as just wellness culture noise, wellness culture, blah, blah, blah. But it's true. Chronic stress increases your cortisol levels, and high cortisol makes insulin resistance worse. Then androgen production gets worse. Then your skin gets worse. And it's all a cycle that goes over and over and over again. You need to find actual stress relief, stress management techniques that work for your life, no matter what it is. Whether it's yoga, for me it's Pilates. I'm really getting into Pilates. I'm doing it 3 times a week now, or twice a week. Twice a week Pilates, 1 day a week of weightlifting. But whether it's yoga, Pilates, running, therapy, journaling, or whatever helps you process stress, instead of letting it get in your body and mess with your hormones. And I can tell you that this is real. I have suffered from, I remember I had just a really stressful situation, and immediately I believe that may have been where this this autoimmune issue stemmed from. That just enormous amounts of stress. Now, what about supplements? People always want to know, are there any supplements we can take to help improve this or make this better? Supplements can improve your overall treatment plan, but they are not a replacement for medical treatment or dietary changes. And sometimes if you don't have, medical insurance, or you can't afford to go, maybe supplements and over-the-counter retinol, like we said earlier, might be the way you need to go. But if you're able to get something prescribed, that is a better way or an additional way to go. or I should say a better way to go, and using everything else to supplement that. Myo-Inositol, which I have taken, is one of the most researched supplements for PCOS. Studies show it improves insulin sensitivity and may help reduce androgen levels. Many women with PCOS take it as part of their daily routine. Spearmint tea. Can you believe this? Spearmint tea has shown some promise in reducing androgens. Some studies suggest drinking 2 cups daily might help, though more research is needed. But has anybody tried this? Have you guys tried spearmint tea or any of these types of supplements, Myo-Inositol? Let us know in the comments. I really want to hear from you and want to know, what do you think? Zinc supplements support skin healing and have anti-inflammatory properties. Talk to your doctor before starting zinc, though, because high doses can interfere with copper absorption, and you want to be careful with that. Omega-3 fatty acids reduce inflammation throughout your body, including your skin. So you can get omega-3s from fatty fish or from supplements. And we always say, go for the food. I mean, why pay $30, $40 for a jar of pills when you can just go out and buy a whole slab of salmon for a couple of dollars, and that will help your budget and also help your skin. Supplements work slowly. No, they do. They're really slow, but need to be taken consistently. And they work best when combined, like I said earlier, with proper medical treatment and dietary changes, not as a standalone solution. Building your PCOS action plan. Putting together an effective plan for PCOS acne means addressing multiple factors at once. Get properly diagnosed first. If you suspect PCOS, see your doctor for blood work to check your hormone levels and get a confirmed diagnosis. Find a dermatologist who has experience treating hormonal acne and PCOS specifically. Not all dermatologists have the same level of expertise in this area, so you want to be careful. You want someone who understands the hormonal component and won't just prescribe some topical treatments and send you on your way. Consider working with a registered dietitian who specializes with PCOS. They can help you create an eating plan that supports hormonal balance without feeling restrictive. Track your progress over months, not weeks. And let me tell you something. I've been using ChatGPT to track my macros. So every morning I just weigh myself. I take my glucose and my ketones, and I tell it what I eat in a day, and it tells me like if I'm short macros, I need to add more stuff, subtract more things. It's really great. So, you don't need to feel stressed out like, oh, how am I going to track this? What kind of track? Literally, you can just go to ChatGPT and they'll do all the work for you. So try it out. Let me know what you think. Taking progress photos every Sunday. I think Sunday or Monday. I think I moved it to Monday morning. So I'm taking progress photos while I'm on my current weight loss journey and I say lifestyle journey. And I find the progress photos, I just started it last week, so I'll let you know how it goes. And if you want to see some of this stuff, you can go to @TheNinaDaniels on Instagram. And I'm always posting this in my stories and on my Instagram. I'm showing people daily what I'm doing in my day-to-day life to help also deal with my autoimmune issues and hormone imbalances. Take progress photos so you can see the changes over time, because day-to-day improvements are really hard to notice. So if you start taking these pictures, and sometimes I don't even think, oh, I didn't lose a pound, but then I'll see the pictures, and I may not have lost weight sometimes, but I can see the change in the shape, in my tone, and all that other stuff. So it kind of keeps you motivated and helps you to stay in there. Be consistent with everything. Your skincare routine, your medications, your diet. Sporadic efforts give sporadic results, and Lord knows I know that. I am the queen of doing that. But I've also done the consistent stuff for more years than I did sporadic stuff, and I'm going to say it does work. Make your routine simple enough so you can stick with it long term, and set realistic expectations, and maybe do it in baby steps. Maybe change your diet at one phase, then move on to change some other stuff in another phase. Maybe don't do it all at once. Clear skin with PCOS takes time. You'll have good weeks and you'll have some bad weeks. Progress isn't always linear, but with the right combination of treatments, you can see significant improvement over several months. So can you manage PCOS acne? Yes, absolutely. But it requires treating the root cause, not just the topical, because it won't work. You can't just treat the symptoms. With the right combination of skincare, medical treatment, and lifestyle changes, you can get your skin under control. That's all for today. So don't forget to check out my blog at modelsdietpodcast.com, and we'll go deeper into the conversation and find all the related links. If you're loving Models Diet Podcast, please show us some love on Apple or Spotify, wherever you get your podcast. Please scroll down, give us a review, rate us. We love you. And if you want, please give us 5 stars if you think we deserve it. And for my YouTube loves, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Like, comment. We want to hear from you. You are our community. So until next time, Moddies, cello, G-string unit, we out.